Jaxson, just overall thoughts being here, coming from BYU. How's it been for you so far?
It's been great. You know, just getting out here with the guys, gelling. Honestly, that's what Coach has been emphasizing since we got here, is just connectivity and figuring each other out off the court and on the court. And so it's been a great experience so far.
This has been a whirlwind, just getting to Kentucky and just kind of embracing the madness that all of this is.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Like in the off season when I was still figuring everything out, BBN showed a lot of love and it was amazing. But now that I'm here, I'm just excited to get on the court and win a national championship.
Coach talked a little bit in his press conference about telling you guys sometimes to go take care of, having leaders within the team, not just him. As someone who was with Coach before and also a veteran of this team, how have you kind of found yourself in that leadership role in this team?
I think it just naturally happened, being with him for the last 3 years, getting the experience of just knowing who Coach Pope is as a person and a coach, and then just carrying it over onto the court, the guys that I've been working with all summer. So they have the confidence in me to step up and lead, and I have the confidence within myself, so that's what I'm going to do.
Any personal or team goals for you aside from the big one?
I mean, all SEC. I want to be an All-American, obviously, but my main goal is just win a national championship and doing it with my guys.
Pope talked about the word translator for you, that was something that you have gone out of your way to be. Why is that important for you to kind of be that, middle ground between the new players and Pope?
I think it's just me being a player and being out on the court in Pope's system. Sometimes I know he can use some lingo that our guys might not be familiar with yet. So just kind of stepping in when I can and letting the guys know what he means, or whatever it is that he's trying to get across. Just making sure my guys understand what's going on.
Has there been a guy on the team that's maybe surprised you the most, or has there been someone that maybe you kind of knew before coming to Kentucky?
I wouldn't say anybody's a surprise to me. I knew everybody was really good. We got an experienced squad, so just going out and competing every day. Everybody steps up. You never know who's going to be the best player on the floor that day. So it's been fun to compete, honestly. Having like 2 All-American defensive guards like Ortega and Lamont, and then you got a defensive player of the year, Amari, in the paint. It's been really good for me personally, just being able to go out there and compete.
You're a veteran guy, been on a lot of different teams, but what sets this team apart specifically that you've seen so far?
Experience. Honestly, we got an old squad. Everybody kind of has already gone through their growing pains for the most part. We got a couple rooks, but they're making their way. And I mean, they've been really great in practice. Colin, Travis, Trent, they've all stepped up huge. We're going to need everybody this season, so I'm just excited to get out there.
What worked with Pope to allow you to kind of elevate your game to the next level? You've been in the SEC, you've kind of seen different grinds, but obviously you kind of reached a new level this past season with Pope. Just why was that?
Experience, getting on the floor. My first 2 years were tough for me, just not being able to see the floor, still figuring out college. I came in young, 17-year-old freshman. So just figuring out the ropes when I was younger, and then Coach Pope taking a chance on me at BYU and picking me up and just let me go through the growing pains. Honestly, that's what's helped me most.
Do you have a chip on your shoulder kind of coming back to the SEC and saying didn't work the first two rounds and now I have a chance to prove that I am an SEC, all SEC type of player?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got one game definitely circled on my calendar for sure, but it's the same for any team. The whole schedule, we're just looking to win basketball games, so that's all that matters.
Coach Pope talks a lot, really emphasizing his press conference about the idea of being still. How has that kind of affected you so far? How do you kind of find yourself being still in your training?
To me, that just means being present. Not get too far ahead in the future and not dwelling on the past. So, I mean, that's how you hit the hoop. Honestly, can't be upset about your mistakes or get too high when you have good moments. And like I said, just learn to be present. Thank you. Yep.
Jaxson, you at your best as a basketball player, what does that look like, and how do you become the all-SEC player you want to be?
Just being a complete player, honestly. Defensive rebounding, guarding at 1 through 4, 1 through 3, and then just being able to score and also find my open teammates. Just being an all-around leader. That to me is an all-around player who should be an all-SEC caliber player. So.
you could have gotten drafted this past cycle if you would decide to go. What are you looking for in this next year to kind of spread the gap with just kind of, or close the gap with what you're looking for with the draft as well?
Just showing my growth, honestly. Just all areas of my game. I feel like I've definitely improved. So just going out there and being able to compete, and then, like you said, going back to the SEC will be fun. Obviously, a lot of people don't think I can play in the SEC, so going out and proving them wrong will be super fun for me. So you can't even really tell. I think that I just said it a couple minutes ago, but this is a brotherhood, honestly. So we're all so connected that, I mean, it feels like home.
What do you attribute that fast connection, building that fast connection to?
I'd say Coach Pope. It's been his emphasis since we got here. But we also, as experienced players, know that without like connectivity, it's not going to work. So, and we're trying to win a championship. So just make sure that we do whatever we can to do that is really important for us.
You mentioned winning the championship. Do you think this team has the pieces to go out there?
Yes, there's no question about that.
What do you think some of the strengths of this team are?
I'm sorry?
What do you think some of the strengths of this team are?
Shooting, defense, the ability to move the ball, unselfishness.
Pope's a lot of his philosophy is built around analytics. You're the only guy that's played for him on this team over the last 2 years. Just how does he talk about analytics with you all, and how much do you kind of see him implement that into his strategy?
Yeah, he does. I mean, right behind you see the NOAA system right there. That's just one of the small things that we do every day. But I mean, there's just little things that he points out during practice. We always track our points per possession. We want to make sure we're over a 1 points per possession every single time that we play. So just like little small things like that, I think he always talks about are the fine line between like a championship team and someone who makes it past the first round. So, I mean, doing what we can to just better ourselves every day. That's it.
What about with like game prep? Does he ever go over, like point out some numbers for a particular player on the other team or anything like that? Does he ever talk about that? Does that get in there?
Yeah, once the scout comes around, we have things like that. But I mean, there's numbers everywhere within this program, honestly.
Do you think the experience of the team will help you guys early on, rather than being young and stuff?
I do think so. Especially with some of the earlier games we got. I know we played some younger teams, so I'm interested to see how they respond just as a younger group. But I'm excited, like you said, just with all the experience. I think that as long as we're connected, we'll be dangerous.
This opportunity that's been given.
Did they put rods in?
Yeah, I have
rods. Still there?
They're still here.
Wow.
I have them from my knee to my ankle. I have screws on both my knees and both my ankles, and the rod will be there. So.
Doesn't affect your game at all?
No, not at all. No. I feel great. I feel great.
Airport security.
Yeah.
Koby, in an event of a season like this, when there's really nothing to build around, there's no base of the team, what have you and some of your teammates done to kind of help build that on-court and off-court chemistry?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is really just the coaching staff, making sure that they rely that message of what they want from us and what's expected, which is honestly your banner. That's what everybody wants here, and that's what we're working for. And then obviously, like you said, we all come from different places, different backgrounds, and we didn't have that much time, and I feel like just all the time that we spent off the court, that's been helping us a lot on the court. And, coaches do a good job of putting us through tough situations in practice, building that adversity. And through those moments, that's when we, get the closest, and we kind of just build from there.
What would you say is the coolest thing that you did off the court with your guys, like bowling or something like that?
Going to Hazard for sure. Just going over there and seeing what it's like for people in the state of Kentucky that are not really around us, and everything that they go through, and just being able to help them. And it gave us a lot of appreciation for where we were at in life, and being able to give back to people that pour into us and are big fanatics. It was a good opportunity for us.
Have you gotten used to people walking up to you and realizing that you're a UK basketball player?
I have. I mean, it's still a little surreal feeling every time it happens, because it's stuff that as a kid, you kind of wish and dream for, and to finally be here, in such a beautiful place, and see so many beautiful people come up to me and just ask for a picture, talk to me about things that they've gone through in their life as a fan here. It's all, I'm all ears for it every time. Anytime somebody comes up to me, I want to listen. I want to be a part of, their experience as well.
Why Devin Booker?
Devin Booker, I think, I feel like we have a pretty similar skill set, and we're same height, same weight around there, and I feel like he's just somebody that, when you look at him, he's a good hard worker, he's a good person off the court, and he really shows up for his team every night.
What are your thoughts on Coach Pope?
Oh man, I love that, man. I feel like I say it all the time. It's like with Coach Pope, like what you see is really what you get, man. And there's not a lot of people like that in this business, in this world. And it's just amazing to have a coach that every time you walk into his office, or anytime you see him on the court, or anytime you see him outside, he always just has a big smile on his face, and he's ready to talk and be engaged with other people. And he doesn't treat anybody any differently. Anybody I've seen him talk to, he's been the same person.
When you put your name in the portal, are you hoping you take calls, or is that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think I spoke about this earlier on in the year, but I remember the first like 24 to 48 hours, it was just a lot of phone calls, and then I remember being in the bedroom with my girlfriend and my family on the phone, and I'm just like, they're like, yeah, this is cool, but for some reason Kentucky hasn't called yet. And then they kind of just put their arm around me. They knew how bad I wanted to come here, and when I finally received that phone call, like, I was super excited, and the coaching staff was super excited, and it was just a perfect fit for me.
How many schools do you think you heard from before you picked them?
Probably, I'd say maybe like around 20, 25, something like that. Yeah. So I was just patiently waiting there, but I knew it was going to be just knowing about, I know they had a lot going on, first of all, with the whole coaching staff change, but I also knew, like, besides just being such a great school and, the school that I've always wanted to come to, the system was just perfect for me, so I was really looking forward to that phone call.
The other players have talked about how Pope just instills so much confidence in the guys. Day one, he says, you're the greatest shooter to come through college basketball in the last decade. What does that do for you in terms of confidence of saying, well, I can take my game to the next level if this guy is, in my corner?
Yeah. Nah, for sure. I mean, as a basketball player, I always love to be humble and everything, but to have, the big dog, the coach, like, say those things about me, it definitely gives me a lot of confidence, and it gives me that anytime I walk into the court, I know that this dude's gonna back me up. He's gonna take care of me. He wants the best for me, and he does that for everybody else, man. Like, he's really everybody's #1 hype man.
What does the next level look like for you as a basketball player if you're already the greatest shooter in the last decade?
I think just I'm expanding off of that. I don't want to be known as just a shooter, so just letting the coaching staff help me and figure out ways to be effective on the court, whether that's offensively or defensively, which I know is a big part of the game that I have to work on, and they've been helping me a lot with that this summer. So yeah, just building off of what I already have and just continuing to grow as a player.
How unique was that for you to have a coach who's a hype man, not pointing out everything that went wrong with you?
Yeah, it's new, for a lot of us. Like, growing up, you get a lot of hard love, and it's like you kind of get used to that. So when I first came here and I see his style of coaching, I'm kind of like, this feels a little weird, but I kind of love it, and it's like, with time you get used to it, but man, I really enjoyed it. I really love it.
How many threes we are going to take, and the wedging is such an important part for us. It really allows this team to go and do what we do at a high level. So they've really, when their energy is high, it makes the rest of our lives a whole lot easier. And I think they've done a really great job of growing defensively. A lot of this might be a little bit different from what they've done before, pick and roll coverage and things like that. So they've really tried to, embrace learning and embrace exactly what we're looking for from the coaching staff. They've done an awesome job.
What are you most looking forward to with Busy Madness this Friday?
I'm most excited to see some of my teammates dance. That's what I'm most excited for. But other than that, I think it'll be just a really great introduction to the season. I think it'll be an unbelievable atmosphere. Big Blue Nation is one of one, so to be able to feel that energy in Rupp for the first time is going to be really special, and for all of us, I guess except for Travis and Chad, they might have been to a couple games, but it'll be really our first time to embrace that as a team, and so I'm really looking forward to that.
We're also asking every player real quick their favorite Mark Pope quote, because you said earlier, he's a deep thinker, right? He says a lot of things that you remember. So anything that's really stuck with you.
Let's see. Give me a second. Coach Pope quote.
It's been hard for everyone. Brandon didn't give me one, so
he didn't.
Maybe.
Well, maybe I'll just keep with my theme of how we respond. Whenever something happens, he just says, he just keeps emphasizing it's just how you're going to respond, how you're going to respond. So I would probably say that.
Andrew, can you talk about what are Coach Pope and his staff like as recruiters, and like kind of what was that process like for you when they were trying to pitch you to come here?
Yeah, I think they're first and foremost, they're special people, and so you get that feeling right away from them when they start recruiting you. I think, especially for a lot of these guys who were in the transfer portal, being able to be recruited in such a short period of time is definitely very difficult. So they just, you know, are fully transparent. You know exactly who they are, and they're super genuine, authentic in the recruiting process, which is exactly what you're looking for as a player. And so I think they've done a really good job getting to first of all, they're recruiting some really great people as well, and so I think that also helps. But you're able to kind of feed off of that type of energy, and they've done a really good job.
Do you feel like you had a better feel for like who's transparent, who's genuine, because you'd already been through it once before?
Right. Yeah. No. I think definitely going into the transfer portal for my second time, I knew exactly what I was looking for. I had a short list of schools that I was looking for, and I knew exactly how overwhelming the process could have gotten, and so for me, I thought it was really important to be able to do that. And Coach Pope, made an amazing impression right off the bat, and did a really great job.
The team has a lot of experience in this sport, but it doesn't have any experience here just yet.
Right.
What have you had to learn about this program?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot about Kentucky basketball in general. You know, I've always been a fan growing up and watching Kentucky my whole life, and it's been the mecca of college basketball. So to be able to be a part of it is really special, and something that I would have never imagined. And so to be able to kind of put that all into perspective is really, really cool, and it probably hasn't even hit me the full strength yet. But I think that the entire team has done a really great job of really trying to embrace Kentucky, and we all know it's Kentucky's team and how much it means to the people in the state of Kentucky, and so I think that's a really special part about this group.
I know the season hasn't started yet, but speaking of the experiences on this team, how have they already made you better as a player getting to be around them?
Oh yeah, they've allowed me to improve and continue to get better a whole bunch. They instilled so much confidence, and that really as a player is really special when you know your teammates have your back and people that you've been able to we've already gone through a lot of hard practices already so far, so we've sweat and suffered for our teammates already, and knowing how much they're willing to suffer for me, and how much they've been able to build me up has been really special, and I love all those guys. They've been awesome.
That journey, signing with Delaware out of high school, and then just kind of getting to this, like, would you ever imagine that you'd be sitting in this chair right now, going into your last go round at it?
Yeah, no way. If you told myself as a senior in high school that I would be here, it's really special. I think for a lot of these guys, they probably would say the same thing, and so it just gives us a really unique perspective, I think, and a different level of gratitude, and so when you have that, I think it allows us, it certainly has allowed us to grow super close as a group in such a short time, and so it's really, really cool. I've loved the experience so far.